Hello students, rounding off is not new to you now. In my previous class, I explained you how to round off to nearest 10 and to nearest 100. Today we are going to do some exercises related to it. The first question is, first add and then round off to the nearest 10 and then add. So what we have to do? We have to first add these numbers. Then we have to round off these numbers here and then add. So first we'll add here 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 plus 3 is 5. So when we add 26 and 31, the result or the sum is 57. Now we have to round off 26. What we will do? We will have a look to the right. That is the ones here. 6. Now 6 is more than 5. So what we have to do? We will add 1 to the tens number here. That is 2 plus 1 will be 3. And in place of 6, we will write 0. So 26 is rounded off to 30. Then we will round off the next number, that is 31. Again, we have to look to the ones place here. That is 1 which is less than 5. So this number in the tens place will remain unchanged. We will not change the number here. We will write this as it is, that is 3. But in place of 1, that is the numbers to the right will be placed by 0. So here 31 is also rounded off to 30. So when we add now we have to add. It is round off to the nearest 10 and add. Now again we have to do the addition. 0, 3 plus 3 is 6. So when we add 30 to 30, we get the result 60. This is how we first add, then round off these numbers and then again add. Next you have to add 17 and 27, then round off 17, round off 27 and again add them. So first is 7 plus 7 is 14. We write 4 here, 1 carry here. 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 2 is 4. Now we are going to round these numbers. The sum of these two numbers is 44 here. When we round off 17, we have to look to the right of the tens place here, that is the ones place. The number is, the digit is 7 here. So what we do? 7 is more than 4. And when the digit is to the right is more than 4, what we do? We add 1 to the number which we have to round off. So 1 plus 1 will be 2 here. And in place of 7, we are going to write 0. Then we have to round off 27. Again, we have to look to the right of the tens place because we have to round off to the nearest 10. So, this digit is more than 5 again. So, we will add 1 to the digit in the tens place. 2 plus 1 is 3. And in place of 7, we are going to write 0 here. 0 plus 0 is 0. And 2 plus 3 is 5. So when we round off 17, it is rounded off to 20 and 27 is rounded off to 30. That is when we round them off to nearest 10. And when we add them, the result is 50. When we add without rounding off, our result is 44. But when we round them off and then add, our result is 50. So there is a lot of difference between the results of these two. Our second question is, you have to first subtract and then subtract after rounding off to nearest 10. So first we are going to subtract these two numbers and find the difference. 3 minus 0 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1 here. Now we have to find the rounding off of these numbers. 33. We have to round off this number. So what we will do? This is the tens place and this is the ones place. We have to round off to nearest 10. So we have to look to the right of this tens place here. That is the ones place. The digit is less than 5. So what we will do? We will let this 3 unchanged. So we will write 3 as it is. And the next step is that we have to replace this digit by 0. That is, in place of this 3, we are going to write 0 here. Next number we have to round off is 20. Again, we have to look to the right of the tens place here. That is the ones place. And we have 0 here. This digit is less than 4. So what we will do? We will write 2 as it is. This will remain unchanged. And in place of 0, we will write 0. Why in place of 0 we will write 0? Because we have to replace this digit by 0. But this is already 0. So we have written 0 here. Now we will find out the difference between these two. 0 minus 0 is 0 here. And 3 minus 2 is 1. Now see, when we round off 33 to nearest 10, that is 30. To nearest 20, when we round off 20 to nearest 10, we have 20. Find the difference. Here the difference is 10, but here the difference is 13. The second number here, 55 minus 28. So first we will subtract these and then we will round them off and again we will find the difference here. So 5 minus 8, we can't do that. So what will be our procedure? We will first borrow from the left here. This will give 1/10 to the ones here and will be left with 4 tens here. 5 will get 10 ones and will become 15 ones here. Now we can subtract 15 minus 8 is 7. 4 minus 2 is 2. So when we subtract 28 from 55, our difference is 27. Now we have to round off this 55. So look at the ones place here. This is 5, that is more than 4. So 1 will be added to the digit in the tens place. 5 plus 1 will be 6. And in place of the digit here, to the ones place, we will write 0. So 55 is rounded off to nearest 10 and we get 60 here. Then we have to round off 28. Again, have a look to the right, that is the ones place here. This is more than 4. So we will add 1 to 2 here. 2 plus 1 is 3. And in place of 8, we are going to write 0. Find the difference. 0 minus 0 is 0 here. And 6 minus 3 is 3 here. Children, be careful that we have to round off this 55. We will not round these digits which are written at the top here, which we have borrowed and which we are left with. We will round off 55, and when we round off 55, we get 60. When we round off 28, we get 30. Here, when we subtract, the answer is 30 here. But when we subtract before rounding off, the answer is 27. Our next question is, you have to find the actual sum or difference. That is, you have to add or subtract before rounding of these numbers and then estimated sum or difference. Then you have to round off these numbers. What do you mean by estimated? When you do not have the actual value of anything. So when you round off, that is the estimated value. Then you will round off to nearest 100. You have to round off these numbers to nearest 100 and then find the estimated sum or difference. That is, either you have to add or subtract after rounding off. So the numbers here are 521 and 281. 1 plus 1 is 2. Since we have the sign of addition, we are adding them. 2 plus 8 is 10 here, 0 here, and 1 you have carry here. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. So when you add 521 and 281, the sum is 802. Now we have to round these numbers to nearest 100. We have to find the number. This is the number, hundreds number, which we have to round off. We have to look to the right, that is the next door here, that is the tens place. So we find the tens place here, whether it is more than 5, more than 4 or less than 4. So here we have 2 in the tens place here. So to round off to the nearest 100, we have to look to the right, that is the tens place here. The tens place is less than 4. So this digit at the hundreds place will remain the same. That is 5 will remain as it is. And the digits to the right of this hundreds place will be changed to 0. So in place of 2, we are going to write 0 here. In place of 1, we are going to write 0 here. So when we round off 521 to nearest 100, we get 500. Now we will round off 281. The hundreds number here is 2. And next door, that is the tens place, we have 8. Now this 8 is more than 4. So what we will do? We will add 1 to this digit, that is 2 plus 1 will be 3. The digits to the right will be changed to 0. So to the right of 2 we have 8 and 1. In place of 8 we will write 0. In place of 1 we will write 0. So when we round off 281 to nearest 100, we get 300. Now we will add these rounded numbers. 0 plus 0 will be 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 3 is 8. When we add the rounded numbers here, the result is 800. But before rounding, we get the sum 802. So there is a difference in the answer before rounding and after rounding off. Our next numbers are 777, 350. And we have the sign of subtraction here, minus sign. That means you have to first subtract, find the answer, then round off these numbers to nearest 100 and again you have to subtract them. So first we will subtract here. 7 minus 0 is 7. 7 minus 5 is 2. 7 minus 3 is 4. So when we subtract 350 from 777, our answer is 427. That is, this is the difference here. Now we have to round off 777 to nearest 100. So the hundreds number here which we have to round off is 7. And the number next door, that is to the right here, is the tens place here and we have 7 as our digit. So what we will do? Do you remember anything? If you have the digit more than 4, what will happen? You have to add 1 to the number which you have to round off. So you will add 1 to 7 and here we will get 8 here. And to the right of this digit, we have 2 digits here and we will replace these 2 digits by 0. So we will get 800 when we round off 777 to nearest hundreds. Now we have to round off 350. What we will do? We will find the number which we have to round off, that is 3 here. The right next door we have 5. This 5 is more than 4. So again we will add 1 to this 3. What will we get? We will get 4. And to the right of this digit, we have two digits here, 5 and 0. And these two digits will be replaced by 0. Now after rounding off these two numbers, we again have to find the difference. That is our estimated difference. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 4 is 4. So after rounding off, we have the difference, that is the estimated difference is 400, and our actual difference, that is before rounding off, we have 427. So there is a difference between the actual and the estimated value. I think children, now this rounding off to nearest 10 and 100 and how to round off after adding and subtracting is clear to you. Please make full use of your time and practice as much as possible. Here I have some practice work for you and hope that you will do it carefully.